Yo, what is up, guys? I'm back with another chess video. I just played this match, so yeah, all my initial thoughts and stuff are fresh on my mind. And yeah, man, I almost threw this one, man. This one got sketchy, man. It got sketchy, but thankfully I was able to find the right sequence of moves and stick to my attacking plan. And yeah, I was able to pull out the dub. Got an 80 accuracy, 79.9, whatever. Which is, not great, but it's not bad either, And I did get a brilliant move, which is, always exciting. Makes you feel smarter. Which actually, funny enough, I've played over like 300 games on chess.com, and this is like my 4th or 5th game with a brilliant move. So yeah, I'm still very much a noob. I'm still trash. But hey, hopefully, as I get better, as I learn more and stuff, I'll get more brilliant moves, and more games that I play. So yeah, currently I'm also at 782, so I'm about 3 victories away from finally hitting 800 elo, which is exciting. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But yeah, man, this was a nice comeback win. It was a comeback win, bro, because I was down like 2 rooks and a minor piece or something, like a bishop or a knight. Yeah, like I said, it did get sketchy. I almost gave up, but like I said, I was able to stick with my plan of attack, and I was able to win. And I wanted to share this game with y'all just because it was pretty exciting. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So with white, I always like to start off with the London opening, just because I really want to stick to one opening and master it until I move on to more different ones and more complex ones. And this opening is very beginner friendly, so that's why I like it as well. So yeah, here we're just developing our pieces. And so whenever my opponent attacks my bishop here with their bishop on d6, I always like to move it back just in case if they do take, I can take back and have this h-file open for my rook in case they do castle short side, which is very effective. So yeah, I moved my bishop back to g3. He just kept, he developed his knight. I brought my bishop out, and he did castle short side. So yeah, this was perfect because now I literally, I'm applying pressure already to this pawn on h7 with my bishop here, which is nice. So yeah, I developed my knight here. So he did end up taking with his bishop, which did end up being a mistake. So yeah, I took with the pawn and opened up my rook on the h file, which was perfect because now I'm applying like double the pressure on this square here. So that's beautiful. If I could somehow manage to get my queen out here or something, I can get a checkmate, which is nice. So he developed his king or his knight to d7. I brought my knight over to e5 as well. He brought his pawn down to c5. I brought my pawn up to c3, just kind of finishing my pawn structure here, the little pyramid I got going on. He brought his pawn down to c4, attacking my bishop, and I just moved my bishop back 1 square, or I guess diagonally back 1 square. Yeah. So if I would have moved it here, it would have been a mistake because I wouldn't have had this pawn in the line of sight of my bishop. So yeah, I just moved it back over here so I could still attack this pawn, still keep the pressure on. And yeah, so that was nice. He brought his queen, attacking my knight here. So now if he did take with his knight, initially it was protected by this pawn here, but now he could just take a knight and a pawn. But I wasn't too worried about that because, like I said, I was really focused on just exploiting this weakness here. So yeah. I moved my knight over to d2. He did end up taking, but again, I wasn't too focused on that. This is where I launched my. Shut up, not me. Shut up. No, don't bark. Sorry about that. So this is where I launched my plan of attack. So I had to figure out a way to remove this knight here from this post because I couldn't move my queen here because obviously it was just gonna take, and that would have been like instant loss. So I actually ended up sacrificing my rook, which was a blunder. But again, that was part of the plan. He did end up taking, which was fine, because I just moved my queen over to h5. He put me in check. So yeah, if he would literally made any other move besides this, if he would have done like this or something, it would have been checkmate, which was my whole plan from the beginning. but he brought his knight over to d3, putting me in check, which was fine because even though he did block my bishop, so now I couldn't just come up here and take. I was still able to bring my knight up to e2 and eventually connect my rook with my queen on the h file and continue with the attack. He brought his pawn down to g6, attacking my queen, so I just moved my queen up one spot. And so he took this pawn here, but which was fine because, again, continuing with the attack. But yeah, even though I was still continuing with the attack, I was still a little bit nervous because I was down a rook and a piece, a minor piece, and I was like, damn, is this even worth it, bro? Am I even going to be able to to get this checkmate? Yeah, I was kind of risking it, but it worked out. So he brought his pawn down. So yeah, this was literally the only move he could have made, because again, if he would have made like any other move, it would have been checkmate. But yeah, so he found this move and made it, pawn to f5. So yeah, so now I had to figure out a way to either remove this knight or block the queen from this file here. So I could either, if I remove the knight, I could just bring my queen up here and it'd be checkmate. So yeah, I started with my plan to bring my knight over here to the g5 spot and then eventually take out the knight. But thankfully, he actually moved his rook down to f7, which just made a nice little fork here between the knight and the rook. So he moved his rook over to e7, and I just took the free pawn. He brought his, so this was the beginning of the end for him. This was his pretty much his final mistake, because from here on out, I just completely controlled this game. So yeah, he brought his rook back to g7, attacking my queen, but I just, boom, put him in check. The only move here he had was knight to f8. And so here, this is where I made my brilliant move. So I have 5 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock, and by the time I make my next move, I have 3 minutes and 50 seconds. So yeah, I was really thinking about this. So I figured, the only thing stopping me from checkmate is the king here, because, I could take, and then he would just take, and then that would be a complete loss. But if his king was somehow somewhere else, I could just take and continue on with my attack. So I sacked my rook, I put him in check, and the only move he had here was to take, and then boom, put him in check again. The only move he had was to block with his bishop, and again, if I would have took, that would have just been a mistake. So I put him in check, and then the only move he had here was queen to h7, and I could have just ended the game here with queen takes, checkmate, but I guess I was just excited or something. Yeah, I was excited, nervous, I don't know. I took with my knight, which still, it was protected. The knight was protected by the queen, so he couldn't take. So yeah, I just kind of drug it out a little bit more. I could have ended it in one move, but instead, I made it two. Hey, which is fine. I still got the dub, bro. It was a very, very satisfying victory, man. I was really, really happy with this. Again, I was down like 2 rooks and a piece. Oh man, it was just scary, but I got the win, and yeah, man, I was just very, very happy. So yeah, hopefully I get to 800 elo pretty soon. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon. See you on the next one, guys. Take care. Peace.